Right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're having an awesome Saturday morning over here. Welcome to another day of session of great training by Century 21 Innovative. My name is Sabbir, Chawala, broker, owner of record for Century 21 Innovative. They say thought of the day is success attracts success and failure attracts failure, because obviously there's a law of harmonious attractions. But you know, in physics, if you notice something over here, in physics, positive attracts negative and vice versa. But in human relationships, the opposite is true. Negative people attract negative people, is that correct? And positive people attract positive people. So that's what our thought is going to be. And today we're going to talk about how we can attract positivity, and to do so, how do we extend our knowledge at the same time. Specialized knowledge is so important, whether any business that you're in, the real estate business, the mortgage business, or any business that you're in. I mean, if you take a doctor, if you want to get a surgery done, you got to make sure you go to a doctor who is specialist in heart surgery, correct? You're not going to go to another doctor that doesn't know anything about heart surgery. You're going to go to a person that's specialized, and he or she has specialized knowledge in doing the heart surgery. And that's exactly how you need to be as professionals of your, ladies and gentlemen, in the real estate business, is know your numbers, know your business. For instance, you got to know what's happening in the market out there. We know there's a lot of changes coming into real estate business. For instance, know your numbers in real estate. How many houses were sold the month of February? How many houses were sold the previous month? How many houses were sold a year ago? What's the average selling price? Maybe know your neighborhood, because when you're knocking on doors in a certain neighborhood, you should know what the average selling price for a townhouse is, what a detached is selling for. This is called specialized knowledge. This is not just called specialized knowledge, but I think you should take a next step and say, what are some of the things that you need to do when you're talking to a first-time home buyers? When you're talking to first-time home buyers, there's special rebates they get. So you need to know these little things. And that's where I believe you need to know things about specialized knowledge. Specialized knowledge, you know, Napoleon Hill said there are two kinds of knowledge. Well, let's dive in over here, ladies and gentlemen. Specialized knowledge, what exactly is it? Right here. You know, they say there are two types of knowledge. One is general, and the other is specialized. General knowledge, no matter how great in quantity and variety it may be, is of but little in helping you to accumulate the money and the wealth. Because knowledge will not attract money unless it's organized and intelligently directed through practical plans of action to the definite accumulation of money. For instance, what you need to understand is you probably have a plan. If you say, my goal is 15, 20 transactions for the year, you need to have that knowledge to attract. Maybe it might be in the pre-construction business, as Omer and I were talking about, or if you want to attract first-time home buyers, you need to know what their questions will be for the first-time home buyers, how they need to get things done. What are some of the benefits for being a first-time home buyer, especially in this market, some of the benefits that they get, land transfer tax, how they can use their RSP. So that's where that comes in. So understand, whatever you are going to be talking about, whatever market you're going to be focused on, whatever market you are going to be determined to target out there, whether it's a condominium market, pre-construction market, first-time home buyer, that's what that comes in. That's what Napoleon Hill said. Just having general knowledge is not great, but you need to make sure you have practical plans of action to accumulate that wealth. Second is, knowledge will not only attract money unless it is organized and intelligently directed through practical plans of action, which I just mentioned over here. What else does he say? Knowledge is only potential power. It becomes power only when and if it is organized into definite plans of action and directed in a definite end. So if I may ask you that, you have a goal plan, I believe. You know what you want to do. But if you don't have the goal plan, you're not going to be able to do so. And that goes back to our first chapters, ladies and gentlemen, talks about desire. Desire, as Napoleon Hill states, is what is your white, hot, burning desire? What is it you want to do? How much money you want to accumulate? How many transactions you want to do? How many goals you have? And the time frame to do so. So if you don't have that and you don't put that action and plans in place, it's not going to happen. Right? I mean, it's basically I was listening to a great motivational thing. There's two types of people out there, ladies and gentlemen, and that is You have an individual which is basically who understands his or her goals and their definite plan to it, and then there's a wandering generality. Wandering generality basically means an individual doesn't know where he or she is going. They're all over the map basically. Wandering generality basically simply means you're all over the map. You don't have a definite goal, you don't have a definite plan. Wandering generality simply means that you don't, you're not going to make any difference what you did yesterday and you're going to do anything today, right? So if you don't have a definite goal, you're pretty much going to be out of reach what you did last week. You're not going to make any difference what you're doing this week at the same time, or what you did yesterday. Nothing on that. And that's where definite plans of action directed to a definite end, basically. So if you don't have that, you're pretty much out of plan. What else does he say about this over here, ladies and gentlemen? He says, successful men in all callings never stop acquiring specialized knowledge related to the major purposes. We know, ladies and gentlemen, that in the real estate business over here, and we're talking about real estate in particularly, is that we have to do courses every 2 years. Right? We have to update our knowledge. We have to continuously specialize, going back to RICO doing courses. But at the same time, I'm telling all my realtors over here and all our brokers and salespeople is that go out there and seek further knowledge within the market itself. Trev just came out with their market results yesterday. You should know how many houses were sold for the month of February. You should know what things were basically sold in January. You should know what your market is, and particularly if you're targeting a certain area. So if you're in whatever farming area, you should know what's the average selling price over there is. You should know what condos are selling or houses selling, and that's what that comes into it and says to be successful people understand what their generality is, understand where specialized knowledge is, and expand on it. And they don't just give up with, just because you've done your 6 courses and everything of that nature, you don't just stop over there. You got to continuously expand on them. You got to continuously expand on your knowledge. You got to continuously find creative way. I mean, let's take this. Let's take the market for instance. The market has changed. Actually, the communication in the world has changed. If I may ask anybody over here, pretty much a lot of communications have changed. One of two things. In the old days, people, we had hand delivery of mail, right? Now I don't think they even exist anymore. Canada Post is pretty much slowing down a lot of that, right? So what is it? You don't have that communication of receiving mail at home. So everything is through electronic. And you, a specialized knowledge, you as an individual specialist in this business needs to see that how can I be creative? How can I expand my business? How can I reach my clients much better? I mean, 4 or 5 years ago, I believe YouTube may not be as a viable choice, but now video is a real viable choice. And that's what we're doing over here today, actually being live, communicating with our realtors, being live, talking to a number of people over here and asking, saying, hey, how do you do that? And that's what that comes in. You always have to find creative way in engaging with your customers, clients, and business associates. You always have to be creative. And that's what Napoleon Hill said, successful men and women in all callings never stop acquiring specialized knowledge, and at the same time expand into business and see how they can do so. And those who are not successful usually are making mistakes on acquiring that knowledge. And pretty much they might think that, hey, everything is done, you know what, my schooling is done, and that's it. I'm not going to acquire any more knowledge. But you know that as a specialized doctor, he or she pretty much continues to do so. He or she continues to go to school, be it a lawyer, be it a doctor. What are you doing as a realtor? Are you not expanding? Are you not looking at going forward or not? And that's what it is. I mean, let's take some perfect example of specialized knowledge that they said about specialized knowledge by Edison. You know, Edison didn't have a lot of schooling, but yet he went and continuously expanded on his knowledge. Henry Ford, grade 6 schooling, yet he still went back and continuously expanded his knowledge and used that. And that's why these people, I would say, are some of the most successful people out there. So specialized knowledge. So ask yourself this question. You know what? Maybe those that are listening to us today and those that are in the room over here, you need to ask yourself a question and say, make a list that you need what is it that I need to expand on? Maybe communication skills. You might say that, hey, my listing presentation is not the best, so what do I need to do in expanding to become a better listing presentation? For instance, I've found that is that you may want to go back to Toastmasters. Toastmasters will help you in your communication skills. What do you need to do? What do you need to do to become a Toastmaster? Well, better speaker, for instance. What is it that you need to do? So ask yourself this question today is, what is it that I need to do to expand my horizon, to expand in my knowledge over here? And maybe there might be 2 or 3 things. Personally speaking, I found that I needed to do better communication to better equip myself with my clientele, and at the same time, reading and learning. Ladies and gentlemen, knowledge doesn't just end after we leave the doors or any training. Knowledge is something that we need to continuously expand. And listen to Tony Robbins once really said is that you gotta feed your mind every single day, half an hour to 45 minutes. Read, listen to some audio, and feed that knowledge. Go out there and read about what's happening in the business world of real estate. Go out there and maybe find out what CMHC, some of the rule changes. For instance, I know that there's going to be some rules changes coming in the month of March, some more changes coming in. Find out what's happening out there, and then take that and start talking to your clients and having an intelligent conversation. It's easy said than just saying, hey, let's just look at the cover of the book. But you know what? You need to see what's inside the content of the book than just saying, read the cover itself, ladies and gentlemen. So, you can't judge a book by its cover, but at least read the content and judge that. And that's where specialized knowledge comes in attaining. So, ask yourself questions. What is it that I need to do and to really help me expand to get to my next level of goals? What else they say? There's one weakness in people for which there is no remedy, and it is a universal weakness of lack of ambition. Ladies and gentlemen, we understand, and those that are probably on call right now and listening to us, we always have this weakness of ambition. You may be full of energy one moment, and the next day or 2 days later, it's very cold out there, whatever things are happening, your ambition just goes down, and that drive just goes down. Or maybe things just pull you down, the circumstances that are happening out in your business, circumstances that are taking place just brings you down and pulls you down. And that's what I'm going to ask you, ladies and gentlemen, is stand guard of your mind every single day, ladies and gentlemen. Weeds grow easily, not just grow. I'm going to say weeds grow easily. What does that mean? Well, stop your mind from feeling negativity. And that's what happens. If you can keep your mind positive on a daily basis, ladies and gentlemen, every single day, remind yourself on your affirmation. We go back to our affirmations. What is your desire? What is it you want to do? What is the time frame you want to do that desire? And then believe in yourself that you can do it, and then having the ambition to do it. And if you look at that and say, what is it that you're living for? What is it you got? Your why? What is your why? And maybe because to help your children go to school over there. And maybe to help foster a better living. Whatever that is, that if you can have a very high ambition, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to see that you will stop those weeds from coming in. Stop that negativity, because yes, things will happen. And if you can stay positive on a daily basis, if you can stay ambitious on a daily basis, ladies and gentlemen, you will see that you will expand on your knowledge. You will see yourself doing very positively. So once again, ask yourself, what is my desire? What is my desire statement? Read it out daily, twice. Once when you wake up in the morning, and second when you go to bed. This is something going back to our first chapter of Desire with Napoleon Hill stating. And I believe with that, you can expand on that. So stand guard of your mind, ladies and gentlemen, and keep the negativity out and continue to foster positivity. What else he said here? If you're not only willing to learn, no one can help you. And if you're determined to learn, no one can stop you. So true, ladies and gentlemen. It goes back to another thing that we talked about over here, ladies and gentlemen, saying the only person that can help you really motivate you is yourself. The person that you're looking at yourself in the mirror over here, is the only person over here that can help you expand. That's the only person that can help you build yourself. So the person who stops from merely because he or she finished school forever hopelessly is doomed to mediocrity, no matter what may be his calling. So the way to success is the way of continuous pursuit of knowledge, ladies and gentlemen. Great, great phrase by Napoleon Hill over here. It just doesn't stop over here, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, if our children, if we told them and said, hey, great, you finished grade school, then not expanding to get to high school, it's not going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. You know that we have to send our next generation, our children, to high school. And then from high school, we got to expand them on to college and universities and then whatever degrees you need to, because we know the knowledge, the way the economy is, we need to expand. We need to make sure that our children pursue further knowledge. It's just saying, not just in high school is good, because you know with high school, you pretty much got mediocrity. So that's what I'm asking, ladies and gentlemen, not just for your real estate business over here, expand your knowledge, you know your business, know where things are going on. You need to know more than just the numbers. Know what's happening in the market. It's a continuous base. The best way I found over here, let me tell you, one way, ladies and gentlemen, is going to meetings, going to seminars, and networking with people. Best people I found with partner up with a mortgage person over here. Talk to a mortgage individual and ask them what are some of the changes that are taking place in the marketplace. They would know some of the changes, CMHC changes, it could be first-time home buyer changes, maybe some foreign buyer changes over here. The more knowledge you know, the specialized knowledge you are going to need, that is going to help you to be much more intelligent. You know, knowledge is power, absolutely, but I think it's more how you use it. And specialized knowledge, I believe, is going to help you accumulate that wealth over your ladies and gentlemen. So, for instance, talk to a home inspector. See what you need to do when you're doing a home inspection, when you're walking through. Talk to a mortgage person to understand how things will be basically in a mortgage lending environment. Talk to a lawyer. What is it that takes? What are some of the consequences, or what are some of the costs associated when you're buying a pre-construction? Find out, partner up with these people, ladies and gentlemen. That's how I found you become specialized knowledge. And as I said, it doesn't just stop over here. Just because you did your 5 or 6 courses doesn't mean this is where things stop. Another thing that I found over here in the book that Napoleon Hill states is doing a thing well never is a trouble. Well, what does this mean over here, ladies and gentlemen? It's all about going the extra mile. Going the extra mile. Ask yourself this question: when was the last time you went the extra mile? I mean, take an example where somebody went the extra mile and gave you that extra service. Doing a little thing is something that's more above. It's never going to get in any trouble. So discipline is all about doing what you need to do whenever you need to do it, whether you feel like doing it or not. But this means very well over here, discipline. We talked about in our training, we talked about a number of things.
Hi, it's Robin Sharma. I am here in Puglia, the town is Monopoly. Really beautiful people, really open-hearted, very much the real Italy down here in the south. And I've been writing, and I've been planning the new year, and building up my strategy sheets, and rethinking everything I do, and asking myself how I can exponentially scale up impact next year. And I just love being away from it all, zero distraction. As you know, an addiction to distraction is the death of your creative production. It's really important to take time to get away from your usual life and just rethink everything. And because the moment you fall in love with the things you believe to be true and stop disrupting yourself is the moment someone else will disrupt you right out of the game. And so I just wanted to offer that to you, and I wanted to just quickly check in and remind you of the hero within you. And no matter what you're going through, whether it's a great season or a challenging season, there is growth for you. You are meant to do epic things. Keep believing in yourself. Keep trusting your instinct, which is so much more powerful than reason. Keep iterating your craft keep distributing value, keep learning as much as possible, because that is the needle mover, and keep having fun. Life is an awesome adventure. And we all have hard times, we all have great times. Just keep on rolling with it. Sending you tons of love from the Puglia region of Italy. Bye.
In the relationship, if you don't have a great discipline in the relationship, if you don't have a vision in life, if you don't have a vision in your family life, what happens? You pretty much, your life is going to perish. And you don't have anything. You don't know what's going on. And that's what I said earlier, is that if you don't have any goals in life, you're pretty much a wandering generality. You're someone that's individual, that's not going to make any difference yesterday, because if you don't have any goals, anything today, you're not going to make any difference today anyways, right? So that's where I believe discipline is so important. Discipline is so important that you need to put that into personal life, relationship, and at the same time, if you put that into your business, ladies and gentlemen, it's so important. So, we've talked about a number of things in our training here, is how you should say, hey, block off certain time and start doing some door knocking, picking up the phone. It's a great time to door knock right now with the weather that's happening. You know how the market has been. There hasn't been a lot of listings out there, ladies and gentlemen. So I would say get out there and start making those phone calls and see if you can get more listings going on, because it's a great opportunity, because there's not too many people that are out there that's doing it. And that's the best thing, is that there's not too many people door knocking. There's not a lot of people out there prospecting for new business. So that makes it better for you. Because why does it make it better for you? Because there's less competition for you. Less competition means you have a better energy out there, a better opportunity to get there. So discipline. Discipline is all about doing what you need to do whenever you need to do, whether you feel like doing it or not, ladies and gentlemen. So you need to get out there. You need to do things to get you going. Whatever it is, rain, shine, snow, hail, whatever it is, get out there and knock on doors. Get out there and do things. Because if you don't do it, nothing is going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. So discipline is so important that you get things done. That's one of the most important things. So just learning things is not the only thing, but you also need to make sure you continuously prosper yourself, continuously educate yourself, ladies and gentlemen. And specialized knowledge is based on that. What else we got over here, ladies and gentlemen? Well, I like this over here. The key to success is keep educating yourself. Isn't this so true, ladies and gentlemen? K-E-Y. Keep educating yourself. Napoleon Hill stated that it's not basically just after schooling. No, you need to continue educating yourself. Just because you finished grade school, high school, or university, no, you need to continuously educate yourself. And we know in the real estate business, we have the same challenges. We need to continuously educate yourself. I believe we need to continue to educate ourselves on a monthly basis, because the way the market has been, you should know your numbers. He who knows his or her numbers are going to see the success, can have a continuous positive discussion. For instance, I just looked at some numbers over here. For instance, in February, we had 8,014 homes sold compared to 7,583. That's about 5% more compared to last year, February. Prices up almost 28%. That's something called generalized and specialized knowledge, ladies and gentlemen. You need to be out there. Keep educating yourself. So anybody that's watching us, listening to us live right now, need to know that you need to keep educating yourself. It just doesn't stop after doing those 6 courses. And the best way to do it, as I mentioned earlier, is some of the key things is make friends with some of your mortgage people out there, mortgage reps, and understand what's happening in the mortgage business. Discuss with them. Find out from a home inspector. talk to a lawyer. What is it? What are some of the changes taking place? Especially, there's a lot of changes that are going to be coming down the pipe probably the next few months with foreign buyers. Talk to your lawyers about what you need to do, even to a mortgage broker, what is it that you need to do with foreign buyers. So discipline is so important, whatever business you're in, personal life. Ladies and gentlemen, we talked about it, myself and many of our managers can also talk to you about how you can put a schedule together to help you discipline and do this business every day. Not someday, but knock on doors every day, daily, whatever it takes. Get out there and do those. What else? Keep in mind that both success and failure are largely the results of habits. Can't say this any better, ladies and gentlemen. You know, remember what I started earlier? They say success attracts success and failure attracts failure. Well, that goes back to your habit here, ladies and gentlemen. I believe if you're successful, you are going to attract successful people. You know, Tony Robbins said so well is that success leaves clues, success leaves trails. So if you're going to be in a successful mode, you're going to be attracted towards successful people. You're going to see success come to you, and that's what you need to do. And that goes back to your habit, but the habit certainly goes back to your discipline, ladies and gentlemen. If you're going to be lazy out there and saying it's raining out there, it's minus whatever out there, it's too cold, well, that discipline is going to go away. And I found that with human nature, that it just takes a few days and it's a swirling down spiral. That's what happens. And if you're not disciplined, and if you don't get out that disciplined attitude, the successful attitude, not going to happen. And that goes back to number 5, is you need to continuously have that motivation, that admiration to say, I will do whatever it takes. And it goes back to the ambition. It goes back to the ambition at the same time. So ladies and gentlemen, what he says over here, keep in mind that both success and failure are largely the results of habit. And if you want to be successful, you want to create those positive habits, great habits. And that's what's going to get you towards that in them. So realistically, that's what really gets me to my final point over here is do it now. Actually, Napoleon Hill said, do it now. And we said, just do it. And this is what I guess in the new age that we're in with Nike, just do it. Do it now can affect every phase of your life. It can help you do the things you should do, but don't feel like doing it also. So just do it, whatever it takes. I know when you first get out of the gate and say, hey, I'm afraid to talk to people, I'm afraid of rejections because when I knock on doors, what are people going to do? Is reject me, not close the door on me. Or maybe when people open the doors, they're going to ask me the tough questions about things. Well, you know what? You're not going to know until you just do it. Until you do it or not, and you start doing it, ladies and gentlemen. So that's what I want to make sure that my listeners today and all my realtors that are listening to it right now is the only way this can start is starts off with your desire. What is your desire? What is your goal? What is your ambition for the year 2017? How many transactions do you want to make? What is your financial goal? Do you want to be a centenarian producing realtor? That means doing $250,000. Well, to do $250,000, ladies and gentlemen, it is doable in the business that we are in the GTA market, the Toronto real estate market, when there's 8,000 homes being sold just for the month of February. We have approximately another 7,000 sold in January. If you can do 2 to 3 transactions, you can be that individual that can be a centenarian producer agent for the year 2018. You could be walking down that wall, the Hall of Fame at the Century 21 Gala event. But it starts off with your desire, it starts off with your goal. Where do you see yourself happening? And having the belief in yourself, and then going back to discipline and creating that positive habit. And going back to summarize, how do you become specialized knowledge? I said, on a monthly basis, we have our monthly training. We have realtors that come in and we meet with our mortgage people over here. Today we have some mortgage people in our house over here, also in-house over here, to discuss with them on any questions you may have. There's a lot of changes that's going to take in the pipe. But if you are not familiar with those changes, if you don't know those changes that CMHC is rolling out, and if you're not in partnership with these mortgage people, you will not know what's happening. Mortgage person, perfect example. Find out what a home inspector. We deal with a number of home inspectors in our offices. Talk to them, partner up with them. What does it take when I do a home inspection in a home out there? Third thing is specialize with a lawyer. What is it, some of the changes that are taking place, especially with foreign buyer? What are some of the things, the first-time home buyers that you can talk to a mortgage person, say, hey, what are some of the benefits? And talk to a first-time home buyer, say, hey, why are you renting? When I can show you how I can get you into your beautiful home. Because remember, Napoleon Hill said, or actually Zig Ziglar said that, let me backtrack on that. If you can help as many people with achieving their dream, you will achieve your dreams. And ladies and gentlemen, that's what I find in our business. If we can help as many people achieve their dreams of home ownership in Canada, if we can help people achieve and say, hey, help me get you out of a condo, maybe get into a freehold, helping them achieve the dream. If you can help families and say, hey, let me show you how you can invest in real estate. You've got so much equity in your real estate over the last 3-4 years that you own this home. Help you invest in real estate with the pre-construction project. You are helping families, ladies and gentlemen. And when you're helping families, you will see the benefits. Remember what it is. The more people you can help, the better it is going to be for you at the same time, ladies and gentlemen. So everyone that's listening to us, we've got a number of pre-construction projects, a lot of initiatives taking place to help you alleviate and take you to the next level. But it can only be done by fostering a successful habit and discipline, ladies and gentlemen. So once that, pretty much I'm done. Is there any questions, Brenton, anybody has for us that I can even answer? Any realtors? I know we had a number of questions last time.
So one of them is asking if you do get demotivated, is there anything that the brokerage can do to help you?
Absolutely. I believe there's some, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 flesh bodies actually.
Okay.
That's myself, Sabbir, Sohail, Zakir, and Ahmed. There's 5 managers over here. We are here to help you, ladies and gentlemen. You need to take the initiative and say, hey, Sabbir, I want to set up a meeting with you at XYZ. So that's 5 of us. And if you're saying that, hey, I'm in the West End, it's too far for me to come here, well, great. We have Sohail in the Mississauga office. And if you're in Durham, well, there's Zakir and Ahmed, myself and Sabbir are here. Whatever it takes, the initiative has to be taken from you, the individual that maybe come to us. Absolutely. We have different initiatives of goal planning. We have different initiatives of taking a business. Or we can teach you how you can also take a business to how to sell pre-construction condos. And obviously we have business partners that can help you understand the business, i.e. maybe mortgage people over here that can help you partner. I've partnered up with a number of mortgage agents and done first-time home buyers. And that all started off because of the communication, that business relationship. You know, we look at it and say, where's my cell phone? Well, this is not an Apple cell phone, but you know, the components that go into the Samsung is nothing built by Samsung. It's by other people. And what they do is assemble. If you take any car, let's take a GM car, General Motor car. Nothing is built by GM. Everything is by Michelin tires or somebody else, and they put it together. Why is that? You think about it and say, that's because they have a great business relationship. And say, great, Michelin, give me your tires, we'll put it in. Whoever manufactures the seats or whoever manufactures the steering wheel, and they put that in, right? And that's what this business, ladies and gentlemen, successful individual is he or she that can help a great business relationship with other partners, i.e. mortgage people, a lawyer, a home inspector, and expand your business on that. Right, so I hope I answered that question over here. Anything else, Brenton? Maybe any other questions that our folks may have?
No, they just want to know what's the next week's doing.
Next week, actually, it's a good week. So we have a great week ahead. So obviously, we have a number of things coming up. Wednesday is going to be our office meeting coming in. So we're going to be talking about the TREB numbers, which were just released yesterday. Phenomenal numbers coming in. And then next Saturday, we will have the 5th things about imagination, what you need to know about the imagination. But I'm very excited, and I'm just waiting on a date. There's going to be a new project that Tridel is launching also in downtown core, and I believe it's called Via Bloor. Via Bloor 2, actually, it's the 2nd tower. The 1st tower is sold out. They're launching the 2nd tower, and we should be able to get a preview before the general public and the other realtors will get. So you will be able to get some emails. We'll be going out for our realtors to understand that that's going to be another great project, great opportunity to get out there and do some business on the pre-construction. And I should not forget also, our manager, Sohail, is also working diligently with M City in Mississauga. That is going to be on Burnham Thorpe, right across where our office is currently, and we're just waiting on trying to get pricing and floor plan for that project in the West End. So that's an initiative, great opportunity. So a lot of other trainings coming up, meetings. We have a meeting, I believe, March 14th in Ajax also, where Bank of Montreal will be there, talking about some of the changes with, I believe, CMHC taking place. So that's taking on March 14th, Tuesday, in the Ajax office. So anybody that can make it to our Toronto office will certainly get to see that. And I really encourage you to partner up with these folks over here so you understand and they can answer any questions. You know, first-time home buyers, you know, and we're working with a lot of greatnesses right now with foreign buyers. What does it take to be a foreign buyer? Something of that nature. So that's one thing that's going to be happening on March 14th in the Ajax office. Go ahead, yeah.
One more question. So they're asking, in this market, it's very hard to prepare an offer presentation for a property and getting it successfully to purchase it for your client. Is there any do's and don'ts that you can share with us today?
Absolutely. First and foremost is if you have a firm buyer, first and foremost is make sure that you work with whichever bank you work with, a mortgage person, and make sure you can get them qualified so you know what the qualifications is. They can buy up to $600,000 or $650,000. So if you're going to go out there and put an offer, you make sure you get that in there. So make sure you got them financially qualified is one thing. Second thing that I found is also if i.e. today basically Saturday and tomorrow's the offer, Monday's the offer presentation. And if you show a property today to them and if they like it, do an inspection before Monday. So Sunday, for instance, you may want to go out there and do an inspection. Spend that $300, $400 and get a pre-inspection done before you put the offer. So you know prior to that and say, hey, before I put in that firm offer and waive the financing and the inspection condition, I know whether there's any major defaults in the property. And if you find there's a lot of work to be done, then you don't want to go in and put the offer in. So you want to keep a client for life, ladies and gentlemen. And to keep a client for life is just, you want to waive those conditions, but at the same time, do an inspection prior to that. So if you know that offer presentation is on Monday, or do it on Sunday. And if the client is confident, invest that, not spend, I'm saying invest that into that house, $300 to $400, and then go in on Monday and put that in with a solid offer, removing the conditions, and so you know that you've already got that already firm with a mortgage person. It all starts off with what I said earlier, ladies and gentlemen, building a business relationship with your mortgage people out there, having a team of mortgage people out there, having a relationship with your home inspectors so they can get this done. So I hope that answers the question, because that's what I believe in this market that's out there. You can definitely do that. Another way that I found is to win in this market is just get out there and knock on more doors, Brendan. If you can knock on more doors, and if you know you got a qualified buyer and he or she has said that this is the parameter that I'm looking in, whatever location, whatever geographic, get out there, knock on those doors and tell those sellers and say, hey, I got a qualified buyer. And if they look at selling, guess what? You just double-ended. You're selling the property, and at the same time, you're making a beautiful investment for the home buyer. So get out there, knock on those doors. I know that a number of our realtors are working on that because they've got some qualified buyers right now in certain pockets, and realtors are going out there and knocking on doors. If you can invest 2 hours to 3 hours a day, ladies and gentlemen, that works about 5 days a week, 10 to 15 hours a week. I'm sure you could come up with a listing. And then when you take that, go back to your buyer and say, hey, this is what you told me. I've got a listing over here, and you could double that. A great way and an easier way of becoming a centenarian producing, making $250,000 in this business, ladies and gentlemen, because other places it's not as easy, but in this business I believe it can be done. So I hope that I answered that question. Anything else, Brenton, you have right now? That's it. So till then, let's have a profitable week, a great week. Myself, Samim, Sohail, Zakir, Ahmed, we're always here. The office is open anytime for your services. And if you have any questions, just email it to myself or Samim, and we'll take it from there. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen. Have an awesome week. Thank you again. Woo! Derek, how are you doing today?
I'm doing very good, thank you. How are you doing?